everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to our online lessons. Miss Esraa with you, and I'm going to be your math teacher for our online lesson today. Now it's time to continue lessons 55 and 56 in chapter 6, which are talking about addition strategies. In this lesson, we will take part 2 of lessons 55 and 56. In the last part 1, we take 3 strategies of addition. What are they? Do you remember? The first strategy was adding using place value blocks. And the second strategy was adding using decomposing numbers. And the third one was adding using number line hops. And now, in this lesson, we will take strategy number 4, which is talking about adding with regrouping. So let's get started. Here I want to get the sum of 276 and 517. Start adding ones moving to left. Let's see how can we do this. At first, we align or line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other, as you can see right here. And it's better to write the place value names above the digits, as you can see right here. So here, in the first number, which is 276, we write 6 in ones, 7 in tens, 2 in hundreds. And in the second number, which is 517, we line up the digits to be above each other. As you can see right here, in 517, it has 7 in ones. So we write 7 in ones digit exactly below the ones digit of the first number, which is 6. And then we will write number 1 exactly below number 7, as you can see right here. And we write number 5 exactly below number 2. So here we align or line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other. Then we work in each place at a time to get the sum of the digits of each place. Let's see how can we do this. To get the sum, we start adding ones. So we get the sum of the units digits 6 and 7, which equals 13. But we can't write 13 in the result. We only write 3 and carry 1 over to the next higher place, because we can't write more than 1 digit in each place. Now let's go to the tens digits to get their sum. 1 plus 7 equals 8. 8 plus 1 equals 9. And then we will move to the hundreds digits to get their sum. Here we have 2 and 5. 2 plus 5 equals 7. So the sum of 276 and 517 is equal to 793. Now it's time to estimate our answer to check. Here we will round the add-ins 276 and 517 to the nearest hundreds. And then we will get the sum after rounding these two numbers. And then we will decide if the answer is reasonable or not. Here we will start with 276 to round it to the nearest hundreds. So let's draw the number line as you can see right here. And here I'm counting up by hundreds because we round to nearest hundreds. Okay, so here we write the numbers on the number line counting by hundreds: 100, 200, 300, 400. So here I'm counting up by hundreds, okay, as you can see right here. I could go to 500 and 600 and so on, but in this case we write numbers to 400 only. That's enough. Now, where does 276 sit? That's right. We find that 276 is between 200. Now, where does 276 sit? That's right. We find that 276 is between 200s and 300s on the number line. So what are our two options? We know that 276 is between 200s and 300s, as you can see right here. We might round down to 200s or might round up to 300s. So which direction we go in? Do we round up to 300s or do we round down to 200? Well, if we are rounding to the nearest hundred, we want to look at the tens place to decide which number of 200s or 300s we will round to it. So in this case, we look at the tens place, which is 7 here, and say if tens place less than 5, so we will round down to 200s. But if tens place is more than 5, we will round up to 300. So here, tens digit is 7, which is more than 5. So we will round 276 up to 300. Let's take the second number, which is 517, to round it. Here we find that 517 is between 500 and 600, as you can see right here. So 517 between 500 and 600, but it's closer to 500 more. Let's look at the tens digit, which is 1 here. If tens digit is less than 5, so we will round down 517 to 500. And if the tens digit is more than 5, then we will round up 517 to 600. And because tens digit here, which is 1, less than 5, so we will round 517 down to 500. Now, add these two numbers, 500 and 300. We can find that 500 plus 300 equals 800, as you can see right here. So our estimation is 800. And since 793 is closer to the estimation 800, so our answer is reasonable. So let's take more examples. Here I want to get the sum of 115 and 376. At first, we write the place value names, ones, tens, hundreds, to help us to line up numbers below them. In the first number 115, we find 5 in ones place, so we will write number 5 in ones. And we find number 1 in number 115 in tens place, so we will write number 1 in tens. And in number 115, we find that 1 in hundreds place, so we will write number 1 in hundreds. In the second number, 376, we find that digit 6 is in ones place, so we will write number 6 in ones place exactly below number 5, as you can see right here. And then we find that number 7 is in tens place, so we will write 7 in tens. We find also that number 3 is in hundreds place, so we will write 3 in hundreds. Okay, as you can see right here, we align the numbers to be above each other. To get the sum, we start adding ones at first. We get the sum of the ones digits 5 and 6, which is equal 11. But we can't write 11 in the result. So we will write number 1 and carry 1 up or carry 1 over to the next higher place, because we can't write more than 1 digit in each place. Now let's move to tens digits to get their sum. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Let's move to hundreds place. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Let's estimate to check our answer. Let's start with the first number or the first adding, which is 115 to round it. We know that 115 lies between 100 and 200 on the number line, as you can see right here. So we look at the tens place, which is 1 here, and we find that 1 is less than 5. So 115 rounds down to 100. Let's take the second number, which is 376, to round it. We know that 376 lies between 300s and 400s on the number line, as you can see right here. So we will look at the tens place, which is 7 here, and we can find that 7 is more than 5. So 376 rounds up to 400. Now add these two numbers, 200s and 400s, in your head to estimate. We find that 200 and 400s equals 600s. And finally, we find that 491 is closer to 600. So our answer is reasonable. Let's take another example. Here I want to get the sum of 1,225 and 2,767. At first, write the place value names, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, to help you to line up numbers below them. In first number, we find that digit 5 is in ones place. So we will write number 5 in ones. And we find that digit 2 is in tens place. So we will write number 2 in tens place. And we can find that digit 2 is in hundreds place. So we will write 2 in hundreds. And the last digit, which is 1, is in thousands place. So we will write number 1 in thousand. And the next number, which is 2767, we find that digit 7 is in ones place. So we will write number 7 in ones. Digit 6 is in tens place. So we will write number 6 in tens, as you can see right here. Number 7 is in hundreds place. So we will write number 7 in hundreds. And the last digit, which is 2, is in thousands place. So we will write number 2 in thousand. Okay, as you can see right here, we align the numbers to be added exactly above each other. Okay, to get the sum, we start adding ones as usual. So we get the sum of ones digit. Here in ones digit, 5 and 7. So 5 and 7 equals 12. But we can't write 12 in the result. So we will write 2 and carry 1 over to the next place, because we can't write more than one digit in each place. Now let's move to tens digits to get their sum. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 6 equals 9. Let's move to hundreds digits to get their sum. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Let's move to thousand digits to get their sum. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So let's estimate to check our answer. Let's start with the first number, which is 1225 to round it. Let's draw number line here and here, because we will round 1225 to the nearest thousand. So we count up by thousand on the number line. We count up by thousand on this number line. So we have here 1000, 2000, 3000, and so on. Okay. Here we can find that. So our two options here are to round down to 1000 or to round up to 2000. But because 1225 lies between 1000 and 2000 on the number line, we will look at the hundreds digit, which is the digit before thousand here. We find that the hundreds digit, which is 2, is less than 5. So we will round 1225 down to 1000. Let's take the second number, 2767, to round it to nearest thousand. If we draw the number line, we will find that 2767 lies between 2000 and 3000, as you can see right here. So 2767 lies between 2000 and 3000, as you can see right here. And to round 2767 to the nearest thousand, we will look at the hundreds digit, which is the digit before thousand digit. We find it 7. And because 7 is more than 5, so 2767 rounds up to 3000. Now we will add these two numbers, 1000 and 3000 in your head. And then we will find that 1000 plus 3000 equals 4000. And 3992 is close to 4000. So our answer is right. Let's take more examples for rounding numbers. Rounding numbers to nearest hundred. If we have a number like 236 and I want to round it to the nearest hundred, we know that 236 lies between 200 and 300 on the number line. So to round it to the nearest hundred, we will look at the tens place, which is 3 here, and we can find that 3 is less than 5. So 236 rounds down to 200. But to rounding numbers, we have a fastest and easiest way to round them directly instead of drawing a number line. For example, here to round 236 to nearest hundreds, we look at the digit before hundreds, which is tens here. We find it 3. And because 3 is less than 5, so we let the hundreds digit, which is 2, as itself, without any changing. So 2 here, still 2. And we will replace the tens and ones digits with zeros. So number 236 is rounding down to 200. Let's take another one. I want here to round 479 to nearest hundred. We know that 479 lies between 400 and 500 on the number line, as you can see right here. And to round this number to nearest hundred, we will look at the tens place, which is 7 here. We find that 7 is more than 5. So 479 rounds up to 500. But to round 479 to the nearest hundred directly without drawing the number line, we will look at the tens digit, which is 7. And because 7 is more than 5, so we will increase the hundreds digit by 1 to be 5 instead of 4. And we will replace the tens digit and ones digits with zeros. So 479 rounds up to 500. Okay, let's take another one. Here we have 1225, and I want to round it to nearest 1000. We know that 1225 lies between 1000 and 2000 on the number line, as you can see right here. And because here we round to the nearest 1000, so we will look at the digit before it, which is hundreds. Here we find it. Hundreds digit is number 2. And because 2 is less than 5, so we will round 1,225 down to 1,000. But to rounding numbers, we have a fastest and easiest way to round them directly instead of drawing the number line. For example, here to round 1,225 to nearest thousand, we will look at that digit before thousand, which is hundreds, and we can find it number 2 here, and 2 is less than 5, so we will let the thousand digit, which is 1, as itself without any changing, so 1 still 1, and then we will replace hundreds and tens and ones digits with zeros, as you can see right here. So 1,225 rounds down to 1,000. Let's take another one. Here I want to round 2,767 to nearest thousand. We know that 2,767 lies between 2,000 and 3,000 on the number line, as you can see right here. And then we will look at the hundreds digit, which is the digit before 1,000 here, which is 7 here. We find that 7 is more than 5. So 2,767 is rounded up to 3,000. But to round 2,767 to nearest thousand directly without drawing the number line, we look at the hundreds digit, which is 7 here, and because 7 is more than 5, 7 is more than 5, so we will increase the thousand digit by 1 to be 3 instead of 2. Okay? And we will replace the hundreds and tens and ones digits with zeros, as you can see right here. So 2,767 rounds up to 3,000. Here, in this example, I want to get the sum of these 3 numbers, or these 3 add-ins, 135 and 201 and 346. If you look at this problem for the first time, you will think that is a hard problem. How can we get the sum of 3 added? Here in this problem, we will solve it in 2 steps to make it easier to solve. At first, we will add the first and the second numbers together. Then, in the second step, we will add the sum that resulting from adding first and second number to the third number. Let's see how can we do this. We will write the place value names above the digits as usual, ones, tens, hundreds, and then we will line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other, as you can see right here. To get the sum, we will start adding ones. 5 plus 1 equals 6. Let's move to tens digit. 3 plus 0 equals 3. And finally, let's move to hundreds digit. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So the sum of the first and second number is 336. In the second step, we will use this sum 336 to add it to the third number, which is 346. So here in the second step, we will get the sum of 336 and 346 to get the total of these three numbers. We will start by writing the place value names as usual, ones, tens, hundreds. Then we will line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other. To get the sum, we will start adding ones. We get the sum of the ones digits 6 and 6, which is equal 12. But we can't write 12 in the result. So we will write 2 and carry 1 over to the next higher place because we can't write more than one digit in each place. Now let's go to the tens digits to get their sum. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And then we will move to hundreds digits to get their sum. 3 plus 3 equals 6. So the sum of these three numbers is 682. Let's take another example. Here I want to get the sum of these four numbers, 370 and 103 and 125 and 326. If you look at this problem for the first time, you will think that is a very hard problem. And how can we get the sum of these four numbers at the same time? Here in this problem, we will solve it in 3 steps to make it easier to solve. Let's see how can we do this. At first step, we will get the sum of these two numbers. And in the second step, we will get the sum of these two numbers. And then finally, we add the two sums to get the total of 4 numbers. At first step, we will add the first and the second numbers. Okay? And the second step, we will add the third and fourth number. Third step, we will add the two sums resulting from the first and the second step together to get the total. Let's see. At first, as usual, we start writing the place value names, as you can see right here. Then we will line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other, as you can see right here. To get the sum, we start adding ones. We get the sum of the ones digits. 0 plus 3 equals 3. Let's move to tens digits. 7 plus 0 equals 7. Let's move to hundreds digits. 3 plus 1 equals 4. The second step, we will get the sum of 125 and 326. The third and the fourth numbers. So we will start writing the place value names as usual, and then we will line up numbers to be added exactly above each other, as you can see right here. To get the sum, we start adding ones here. In ones, we have 5 and 6. 5 plus 6 equals 11. But we can't write 11 in the result So we will write number 1 and carry 1 over to the next higher place because we can't write more than 1 digit in each place. Now let's go to the tens digits to get their sum. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Let's move to hundreds. Here we have 1 plus 3 equals 4. In the third step, we will add these two sums together to get the total. So let's get the sum of 473 and 451. As usual, we will write the place value names at first to help us align numbers below them. Then we will line up numbers to be added with digits of the same place value exactly above each other, as you can see right here. To get the sum, start adding ones. So we will get the sum of the ones digits. 3 plus 1 equals 4. Let's move to tens digits. 7 plus 5 equals 12. But here we can't write 12 in the result. So we will write 2 and carry 1 over to the next higher place because we can't write more than 1 digit in each place. Let's move to hundreds. We have here 1 plus 4 equals 5 and 5 plus 4 equals 9. So the sum of these four numbers is 924. Okay, my dear students, that's all what we have in our lessons today. And now it's time to solve these questions by yourself as it's your homework. And at the end, I wish all best wishes for you. Goodbye, my dear students.